100 cans a minute. Why cylinders? I suppose because it's a strong shape. There aren't any corners. Corners break easily. It's easy to make. It stands up. It's easy to stack. It rolls.
This isn't the way. Where are we?
again, gives it out to Ebert of North Melbourne. Ebert's got the chance now to give it across to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch doubles around his opponent. Good play by Schimmelbusch. Wayne Schimmelbusch now with a big chance to put it through for North Melbourne. And North Melbourne are really starting to pile on the goals now, midway through the third quarter.
Help! Help!
Blight in the goal square. And, yes, Blight in the goal square. He's taken the mark. Timmendale was doubling back. Couldn't get there. But Blight has kicked 6 today. This could be his 7th goal. Guess he's put it through without mistake. And North Melbourne really starting to pile them on now. And that's a good bounce in the centre. Won by Dempsey of North Melbourne. And here's the chance for Melbourne to move towards their half-forward position.
And away!
What a tragedy. Here at Stadium City, ambulance men are treating our superhero, Superperson, following a complete physical collapse. And as the city reels under the shock, it just so happens we've been reeling ourselves back through our film library for footage of Superperson's early life. Look at the way he moves. Strong, fast and agile. He had to survive. What a fine figure he cut. Oh, good evening. We're glad to report that Superperson has been released from hospital and is now recovering at home. This time, he's pulled through. But for astute Superperson watchers, such as myself, that incident earlier today was not completely unexpected. For years now, we thought only kryptonite could affect our Man of Steel. Yet other mysterious forces have been at work, weakening our superhero since he came to the metropolis. But what are these other forces? A typical day in the life of our superhero was our starting point. In his civilian guise as a sports reporter for our leading daily, Superperson leads a very ordinary life, much the same as many others in our city.
Joylene, look, I haven't got time to go out to lunch. Could you get me a pasty with sauce, a sausage roll, and a chocolate milkshake? Oh, and a cake. Yeah, I need the energy.
And like many others, after a tension-ridden day, Superperson can now relax.
Oh, do I really need this, hey? I tell you what, something's got to be done about this holding the ball rule. I mean, they would never have won if it hadn't been for that. The fella in the goal square. He was holding the ball, wasn't he? You reckon?
First half, yeah.
What do you mean the first half's the same in the second half? That second time he came at him? Exactly the same thing. He was bouncing it out in front of him. No, I mean, they've got to change the rules. I mean, that's exactly what happened today. So, I mean... oh, dear. A fella holding the ball, who's got the ball, he can just bounce it out. If he's tackled, then he gets a free kick. And if that happens in the goal square, well, then it's a sure goal. That's exactly what happened today. They should never have won. I mean, if the rule was anywhere near what it should be, they would never have got that goal. And how much they win by? 5 points, right? Well, I better have another one, I suppose. Yeah, thanks, Calder. Shouldn't really, but I mean, when you got a bit of thirst, right? All right, stop.
The high country heralds the start of the roundup, and it takes a special kind of man to go up there and bring them down. A man's man. His sweat-stained Stetson and sheepskin jacket frayed by the cruel winds. His bronzed Australian face bearing the scars of many winters in Cancer Country. Come over to Cancer Country, where you can be a part of the last great roundup.
There's nothing like a good solid meal to keep you fit and regular, and believe me, trash burgers are nothing like a good solid meal. Trash burgers. 2 slices of delicious super white plastic bread filled with yummy, delicious, appetizing fried pig's fat. Feel sick, get terrific pimples, develop obesity.
An innocent enough day, on the surface. But look at what's happened to our man of steel already. How can we help him? In delving more deeply, we discovered that for a start, Superperson is overweight.
I'm not fat.
A simple pinch test suggests that he is. 6 kilos overweight may not sound much, but he's carrying the equivalent to, for example, 2 kilos of potatoes, a leg of lamb, 2 kilos butter, and 2 loaves of bread, needlessly. Over his typical day, he's eaten the wrong foods at the wrong time and too much of them. 8 coffees with all this sugar. Sugar? Empty calories, no nutritional value, and in his case converted directly to fat. Breakfast, a commercial cereal, already contains sugar, plus more sugar on top. Toast, butter and jam, more sugar. A sticky bun for morning tea. Lunch, a pasty, sausage roll and that cake for energy, plus a milkshake. He doesn't need more energy. He only has to go to his fat reserves for it. Then there were the nuts and the beers and his evening meal. Oh yes, and in between times, there was the odd biscuit with the coffee and a health bar, and who knows what other little snack he might have had after dinner while watching television. Over 5,500 calories, and he needs no more than 2,500 at the most. And the big enemy is sugar, high in calories and low in nutrition, but often sold as health, energy, and in pretty packages. Hero has been a sucker. Where are the natural sugars, the berries and the fruits he used to have? There was also a high percentage of fat in his food, another enemy. Being overweight is plain unattractive, but it can hurt more than just Superperson's looks. Fats clog up the arteries, making it difficult for blood to get around the body, and that could cause ruptured blood vessels, stroke, heart attack. Carrying too much weight puts a strain on his heart, And it also leads to wear and pain in the joints, forcing him to become less active and therefore more overweight. And if our hero was a woman, as we know he isn't, but if he was, he could have a more difficult pregnancy. It's just not worth it. Ah yes, I'd forgotten the cigarettes consumed today. Apart from the fact that he smells like a dead cigarette, and you know the old saying, kissing a smoker is like kissing a dirty ashtray, there are the well-known risks of cancer and bronchitis. Smoking hardens the arteries, making it even more difficult for the blood to get around the body. Of course, gradual, planned exercise would help burn up all those excess calories he's had, and it would rip the fatty deposits off the walls of the arteries. But how much exercise have we seen him get?
Hey, this is all a bit unfair. I mean, I know I'm a bit, well, a bit overweight, but I'm happy that way. And as for exercise, well, I can't really get much in my type of job. I did try jogging for a while, but... I really felt a bit of a fool with that ridiculous cape flapping behind me. And I found the kids laughed at me. Adults were giving me strange looks. Anyway, I felt awful afterwards. So I gave that up too. After all, the one thing I don't want is for people to think I'm some sort of a fitness fanatic. But I don't think there's really any need to worry. I feel fine. And I have a round of golf once a week. Now, that's good exercise. And I get plenty of fresh air into my lungs.
If Superperson thinks he's fit, he's mistaken. Once a week light exercise, such as his pathetic attempts at golf, are simply not enough. And to prove our point, we conducted a simple fitness test on him. Any reasonably fit person should be able to run a distance of 600 yards. That's 545 metres in 2 minutes. Are you ready, Superperson? Then off we go. It's taken our superhero just over 3 minutes. And look at the state he's in. Superperson is not fit, and hasn't been for a long while. He's been fooling himself. So who cares if he isn't fit, and what does it mean? It means he's in trouble, or more accurately, it means his heart is in trouble, and it's his heart that keeps him alive. Let's take a closer look at this vital organ. Its job is to pump blood around the body so the blood can feed the muscles with fuel and oxygen. His heart is weak, it's unexercised, so it has to work harder, pump more times to get that blood around the body. In addition, his arteries are clogged with fat and hardened by smoking, so the weak heart has to pump even harder to do the same job as the strong heart. And remember, he's carrying a heavier load of 6 kilos. His heart is like the small bicycle, which has to pedal more times to cover the same distance as the big bicycle. Our hero's heart beats about 80 times every minute. A fit person